cover crops. Now, this is something that is often advised to do alongside your regular fertilization program because there are many benefits to cover crops. Do you use cover crops at all? If so, which ones?
Sure. Yeah, I do use cover crops quite frequently, actually, and I even consider them a cornerstone of soil health, basically. The only exceptions are when space is very limited, or if the soil will only be used for a short cycle. In those cases, a mulch layer alone can already be very effective and do the job, I guess. Especially when working with earthworms, though, in bigger sized containers, cover crops become even more valuable, in my opinion, because once trimmed, the plants provide continuous organic matter and food for the worms, which then drag it into the soil and they feed on it there. And while doing so, they improve overall soil structure, drainage, the aeration, and in the end, they offer plant available macro and micronutrients for the plants, which is very beneficial. And cover crops really help to do that and feed constant organic matter together with all the chop and drop. Like if you make a defoliation from your medicinal plants and put the leaves on top, all this is food for the earthworms together with the cover crops that really help to keep the system at balance. And also, while feeding on the cover crop and or the organic matter, they promote lots of different bacteria that also play an important role in soil health because bacteria and fungi make up the base of the food chain, basically. And it is very important to always have a healthy population going in terms of bacteria and fungi in your soil, because everything else is built on these cornerstones, on these fundamentals. And when your fundamentals are right, if you have enough microbial and bacterial populations, then everything else will be much more healthy as well. And cover crops do a significant bit here. They really promote different bacteria, they promote different fungi, and keep everything at balance, I guess. So every system of a certain size should incorporate cover crops, in my opinion, and earthworms together with some mulch. When growing indoors, though, I prefer species like Phacelia or ryegrass, which germinate very quickly, and they do form dense root masses and can be trimmed repeatedly, which is a good thing to maintain the exudate production in the root zone and act as a constant source of food for the bacteria and the earthworms. Outdoors, however, clover seems to be the best fit, in my opinion, because it fixes nitrogen from the atmosphere in symbiosis with rhizobia bacteria, which are typically found outside in abundance. So they really come towards the clover. They colonize the root zone and then they help to fix the nitrogen out of the atmosphere, basically acting as a form of nitrogen fertilizer. Once you cut down the clover, the cover crop, it gets released into the soil and the other plants can take it up. So it's a misconception. Oftentimes people think that once you use companion plants or cover crops, that they drain nutrients out of the soil and they are contradictory to your use case. But actually, it's the opposite. If you use the right cover crop and the right plants, then you can enhance your soil health and nutrient availability.
Free nitrogen from the air. Some of these cover crops give, like you mentioned, right?
Yeah, basically free. Yes.
I'm glad you mentioned that the clover has to be kind of cut down in order for it to kind of be released. I
Yeah.
think a lot of people think that, hey, the clover is growing, nitrogen's automatically being available, but no, it has to actually be killed off. So chop and drop or whatever you want to do,
Yeah.
cutting that down. It would be good to layer it over so you have kind of mulch layer, but at that point it releases the nitrogen from, I don't know what it's called, like little balls, little bulbs in the roots or
Ligomi. I have the German word, but I
something.
don't know the English translation actually. Like in German, it's Leguminosen. I don't know,
Mm.
something similar in English, I guess.
But I absolutely love the amount of really aeration it can provide into the
Yes.
medium. Like it makes things so loose. And I remember the first time using cover crop, it was clover, and putting a moisture meter down in there. It just pierced through the medium just like
Yeah.
butter. It may be me being in a more dry environment and often doing dry backs, drought stress, whatever. It adds to a lot of compaction, right?
Yes.
And of course, that's going to lead to less oxygen in that soil and kind of can stunt growth if the soil is too compact. So I personally love having a cover crop because it does help loosen everything up. It's a huge win for me.
Especially when you re-amend and use the soil over and over again, things get more and more compact. And you, as I said, you don't want to break it, you don't want to till it. So cover crops really help to, in a natural way, loosen things up again and aerate stuff. Look for drainage, make drainage better, and really, they are really helpful. I think people underestimate the use of cover crops.
This clip is brought to you by VivoSun. Use discount code MrGrow15 to save on any of their gardening products. Go to the full episode by clicking the outro card here, or click the link in the description section below. Catch you in the next video.